Oh, we forgot to turn off. Did you turn off?
Oh, I forgot to turn it on. Oh, I knew this would happen. Okay, I guess we we do it again like this. So in the bottom right, we have Paralon playing UEF. In the top left, also UEF. It is Dex. So it's gonna be a mirror matchup. Um, the vetoes. Um, it would actually be nice if they would tell us the vetoes, but they didn't. Well, I didn't ask for them for the either, so makes sense. I feel like they vetoed either Sarah or Cybran. Um, and but on a map like the Rosas, is there really a faction that's a lot weaker than others? Maybe Aeon by a bit. I feel like Aeon.
Yeah,
I feel like Aeon
probably.
is not strong on maps like this simply because their late game is kind of bad, and these maps tend to, or at least there's a bigger chance for these maps to go into late game. Harps are great until you meet enough Percies, and sniper bots on a map like this. I mean, they can be good, but the cliffs can make it awkward. And the thing
Yeah, but at
is,
least the channels are pretty flat. Just checking now.
that's true. But also the thing with Aeon is, why pick Aeon if you can pick Sarah on a map like this?
Yeah.
Like, I, the T4 is arguably better. The snipers have longer range, and most importantly, you have shields that are way better. You have Phobos. There's not a lot that Aeon has that Sarah doesn't on on a map like this. At least in the late game, that is. Like, of course, early game and mid game, yes, Aeon has different options, but on a map like this, CC rush is pretty common. So
Yeah, I think Cybern is now pretty good with like loyalists. In theory, they should just shred T2 armies because they stun now.
yeah, I've seen them a bit, but it was a team game, so it's it's not like it was any relevant. But
Yeah.
yeah, loyal. But anyway, there's neither Aeon nor Sarah nor Cybern in this game. So so yeah, okay. It seems like Paralon is going for the semi. No, pretty normal build, not that greedy at all. He made a quick air factory for the quick scouts. That's something you see more often lately from different people. You saw it first on Saturns, but now I think Tagada brought it as well to some later games, and it seems like Paralon, I mean, maybe he thought of it himself, but it's a nice addition. It's like you make your second factory air instead of land, and then you just build a single scout and then build more engineers from it, and then you have a quick scout to see what your opponent is up to. So because of that, the scout from Tex is too late, and he doesn't know where the transport from Paralon is going. But the Paralon scout was early enough to maybe scare Tex that some inti rush was coming, which is not too uncommon on this map. But it is not coming. Tex is going for a very greedy BO in the sense of he's delaying his transport by a lot in exchange for scaling up his power and production at the start. So that's why at the start we will see Tex massively boost ahead in score. As you can see, he has 7 factories already compared to the 4 of Paralon. But Paralon made the transport and he dropped the sides. So with this play from Tex, it is good until you don't get either of the sides, and then it's not good at all anymore. Because unlike a map like the Ditch, Reclaim on the Rosas, especially if you skill up this quickly, it can run out pretty fast. And if you're not too careful, and if you run out of Reclaim, which is mostly why you drop the corners to secure the Reclaim, aside from the Nexus, of course. But yeah, if he doesn't get the corner, then he can be in some serious pain. So it is a very, well, not a very, but just a risky strategy in general.
So Paralon is dropping the second corner finally. I think his transport was idle for 30 seconds,
Oh.
which is pretty bad.
Yeah, there are 2 Indies and 2 bombers from Tex, but none of them are in position. Although I
Yeah,
guess
but he scouts it now, yeah? He sees
yeah,
it, definitely.
I'm pretty confident that that's not gonna land. I feel like what Paralon should do, it is what he is doing. He spammed up 6 more Lance factories in his main base, and he will rally those to the left side. Because he knows that, especially after this, that he's not gonna be able to drop there. But if he can, if he has tanks there to prevent Tex from dropping, then Tex won't get it either. And the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Tex. So Tex needs to drop there, but it feels like he will manage to. And if he manages, it means that his gamble paid off.
Also, Tex is losing both of his bombers there, which is, oh, only one. But those would have been nice to maybe kill the first couple of tanks, which are there to harass your engineers. And he's only dropping 3 engineers in a tank.
Ooh, that's might have been a misclick, because that's very weird. Because there's no way he didn't have enough engineers in his base. I just zoom in and there's a clump of 15 of them. Uh, that's yeah, that's a bit weird. But his own tanks are a tad bit too late. I feel like if Parallel moves straight for the tanks, for the engineers, he can maybe kill one. But he shouldn't be able to deny this completely at all. There's too many bombers and too many reinforcement tanks coming as well. So quick tech to air from Paralon. Got the first tech to engineer out. Tex on the other hand is making tech to land right now. Both tech to both tech 3 air and lands are viable on the Rosas. Generally, you don't see a lot of tech 2 play simply because how easy it is to rush tech 3. And aside from some tech 1 spam at the start around this stage to secure the sides, um, you generally go to tech 3 pretty quickly in a standard game that is. It's not completely uncommon for people to spam tech 2. It can work out. It has worked out before. It's just not as likely to happen.
I wonder who is doing better on the reclaim job. I cannot really
Yeah,
judge because I'm zooming in. Like, just by score, I guess Tex is still ahead in reclaim, but at least on my level, it's like you basically win the Rosa if you know the basics and are better at queuing up attack moves.
yeah. The thing is, Tex is most likely ahead on reclaim because he had so much more build power at the start, so he needed more reclaim to spend it, or to spend. Um, as you can see, Paralon still has reclaim in his main base, but Tex has already reclaimed all of it. So I'm pretty sure Tex has reclaimed more. But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure that Paralon has more generated mass income. Because Tex didn't build his maxes for a lot longer, and he got a corner a lot bit later as well. So yeah, I'm... Okay, Jane is like shoot up from Paralon, so he's probably going for some power snipes. That would make the most sense. Oh, that's a very bad attack from Tex at the bottom. He kinda misrallies in his units in wrong formation. Um, I mean, I say it's very bad. It's not that bad, but just throws away a couple of tanks. Tier 1 tanks are not too valuable on a map like this. Uh, so yeah, let's see. Yeah.
I think Tex is going after reclaim engines with his bombers, which is pretty strong if you have the APM for it.
Well, what you can also do is just put target priority on engineers. Which is what I tend to do. You just send your bomber, you target a single engineer, and then just focus priority on engineers, and then it will just do the job by itself. Um, I'm curious. Okay, there's, as I said before, Paralon went Tech 2 land and instantly goes to Tech 3 land. Doesn't even bother to make anything out of the Tech 2 factory. Because because he already made the Pigeons from his Tech 2 air. Tex is also going Tech 3, but it will be done around the same time as Paralon, from the looks of it, because he doesn't have that much assistance. He's going for more Tech 2 spam style from the looks of it. He's building...
Yeah, he's also got support factories in the expansion.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's got, like, this has some potential to hurt quite a lot when his tech to spam arrives just before Paralon's tier 3 production kicks in.
So first Janus go in, but he just dive bombed straight into the ground after meeting some inties. I'm not sure if those were the only ones. Okay, he's now going for the attack 1 armies with a few Janus. Okay, oh that's look at that Janus at the bottom. Oh my god. If it gets a second pass, it's gonna be absolutely brutal. But yeah, Paralon is making way more attack 1 spam, especially at the top right. He has way more factories, but I feel like he's mass stalling because there's no way you can afford this many factories on the Rosas for too long, and I don't think he can actually afford it. Like, the reclaim is starting to run out, there's 50k left, but he has so many factories, he can spend 50k in a few minutes. And he's not getting all that 50k at all. So I feel like, especially since his Tech 3 HQ is about to finish, I feel like he should start control K-ing a lot of Tech 1 factories. The push at the top isn't really working out anyway. At least he hasn't achieved a lot with it.
Yeah, the pillars should just shred through this tier 1 spam now.
Yeah.
Always feel like at this stage, having the stronger arm, like when there's just this last bit of reclaim left, that can be quite game deciding if you manage to grab that or get locked out of it.
Yeah, what you also can do in this stage or earlier is at some point you drop mid and reclaim the Tech 2 Pigeons as well. It's quite a bit of mass in mid that people tend to ignore. Let's see how the E go. Paralon full Tech 2 max at his expansion and his score, but none of them are kept by the looks of things. Tex doesn't have Tech 2 maxes in his expansion, but he has some capped maxes and he's making a Tech 3 max. So as soon as he finishes the Tech 3 max, it should be kind of even on income.
Paralon has his first Titans now.
There's a single Tech 1 bomber at the top right from Tex with 1100 mass skills.
What did he bomb?
I think
it's out of fuel.
It's bombed so much it has no more fuel. I think it's just been chilling for so long because there's not single AA in mix from Paralon. There's a big fight at the top, but it seems like Tex has the... well, not better concave, but his army is more clumped up, and they don't have any Lobos, or barely any. There's lots of Tech 1 Techs from Paralon, but almost no Lobos. There's a few coming, although Tex also doesn't have any Lobos either. I'm not too sure about this attack from Tex though. I feel like, yeah, he has to retreat now. That's way more... Paralon is respecting it too much, and he should be able to get this reclaim. Tex went first T3 MAA. Now that's something. First Titans are out from Paralon. I hope he will bring a single AA with him next time. Let's hope
it would be a shame to lose those to tier 1 bombers. But they have dealt decent damage so far. Only one. Only one has dealt decent damage so far.
I mean, Tech 1 bombers aren't too efficient versus them because of the regen, but still. You don't want to see them take damage like that. So, Tex is still making pillars, which is a big mistake. He should really fully transition into Tech 3 now. He is making multiple support factories at the bottom, but like Tech 2 factories are fine, but make mobile shields with them, not pillars. Titans basically do the pillar job, but better. Like if you make Percy's, then you can make some pillars to deal with some Tech 1 spam or whatnot, but with Titans there's no reason to keep building them. So that's maybe a bit of a macro slip up from Tex. So far I have to say he's played it actually better than expected. He is the first with the Tech 3 max. Uh, does he have T3 air? He doesn't have T3 air.
He has a tier 3 pigeon, so he can rush tier 3 air pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure who has more generated income right now, because Tex doesn't have a single T2 max in his expansion. Paralon is like full T2 in the expansion and partially capped.
This is quite a big push though from Paralon at the top. And there's nothing to answer it yet. It seems like Paralon at the moment has way more units. Tex has some army in the middle of the map, it's a bit out of position. He should and at the bottom, he should definitely try to catch those reinforcements and kind of block off. He's gonna lose attack to max at front, but a single one is not that painful. What is more painful is the reclaim field at the top right. He will lose. That's 9k mass roughly. I'm not sure if you know that your opponent is making Titans. Do you keep making Titans or do you?
I think in Tech's position you should definitely make. Yeah, he switched to Percy's now in his main base.
Yeah, I think so as well. You're on the defending side. It's defensive Percy's. The drawback of having a super slow speed is not an issue at all. And Percy's are actually not that great against pillars anymore because they need 2 shots now. Because a single shot keeps them on 100 HP or something. Oh my god,
the army at the top is looking quite scary. Like Tex made a gun and brought out his ace.
Yeah, it is actually. The issue is it's getting stuck on a cliff.
Yeah. That would have required like 1 additional move order. This is such a faff thing.
Yeah. He's actually being a bit too careful with his ASU. I feel like he's actually got pushed back quite a bit. Eco is relatively equal, but he's giving up some decently big reclaim files. Now 1 at the bottom as well. Is engineers from Paralon there. And he just doesn't have that many units at the moment. He is making a 30 to max, so he is going hard on ego. So if he stabilizes, I was about to say it should be kind of fine, but Paralon made his first Tech 2 max as well, and he has way more Tech 2s.
Maybe not anymore, because Tex has his whole expansion up to T2.
It's true actually.
But Paralon is just holding more maxes. I wonder if some of the random ones are going T2. No. Oh, yes, he's upgrading most of them.
Upgrading 3 there, upgrading this one. Actually, he's upgrading almost all of them. Even the ones in questionable positions, but yeah.
That might hurt because he's so open in center.
Oh, Tex, watch out with your Percy, don't lose it to the swarm. A single Percy, but it's so important. Already got 500 mass skills for free basically in a few shots. Can't 2-shot Titan, but that's a lot of damage it's doing. 8 Cephals from the shields from Paralon, so he did go T3 air and is now making broadswords. Tex decided to push on the bottom, and actually, there's not a lot to stop it.
That looks scary.
Paralon is making his own Percy's, but this army of his should get wiped. Now it's very hard of a decision what Tex should do. Should I just rush straight in? I think he should. But he should also send some diversions to the top to harass while Paralon is busy defending his main. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Should
I'm
be.
not sure if Tex has intel, because I don't think he got a lot of... Okay, he's sending inties now to scout.
There's a Percy drop at the top for Paralon. Oh, what? There's a T3 MAA that shot at it, but it hit the cliff instead, so the transport lives.
Oh no.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, let's see. Actually, let me. How do you go split screen? Oh, there we go. Wow. Look at this professionality. So yeah, it's actually kind of mirrored. Actually, Tex retreated. He didn't push in at all. He became a bit scared, which I'm not sure was the right move. I think he could have committed there, but maybe he didn't have intel. Now Paralon is committing with a big army, but it's mostly Tech 1 and Tech 2. There's a line of PDs, Titans and Percys, so I feel like it's not gonna work. Tex.
I'm not sure. He's gonna lose most of his tier 3 production.
Oh, those are Tech 3. Oh, actually, yeah, Tex is abandoned them way too early, yeah. I feel like Tex should have just made some wall sections. Imagine a Janus there.
Oh,
just imagine.
Lobos. I mean, tier 1 bombers could also do
Anything
great,
would
but...
do. He needs to realize what's up and start new Tech 3 support factories. But this is a grinder.
Die.
Oh wow, only one
Yeah,
died.
Paralon is just
and that
trying
was
to
Tech
get
1.
to the north, and that's
Wow,
a big
this
mistake. He's huge master nation.
That's a massive mistake. What? He's shift G's. That you can't do that on this map. that's painful. So painful. So yeah, I mean most of the reclaim, or a lot of it, died from overkilling, and because everything was shifted upon each other, the OCs from Tex and the RT shots killed quite a bit of it, but it's still free 10k mass. Well, not free, but it is 10k mass. And Tex didn't commit at the bottom. I feel like he could have, but maybe he did have no intel. It's hard to say. I mean, he would have killed a lot of build power for sure, but the question is whether that was worth it or not. Paralon is also still making lots of pillars from tech to support factories. But the big deal right now is the tech 3 gunships from Paralon.
Yeah, they are pretty important right now. He could have maybe even lost his top expansion.
There are ASF from tech, so he did transition tech 3, but he is focusing the gunships and not the ASF, so I'm not exactly sure. Inti, get the last shot! 50 HP broadsword. Man. I mean, 2 ASF for almost 2 broadswords is a pretty good trade. It's just that you'd rather have him come to you at that point, and then so that you get the reclaim, and you'd rather not suicide your ASF but try to win air instead. I guess this is not the way to get air back. You need to. He probably should have, considering he made a new air factory, Paralon probably had no intel of it. So if he just saved up like 8 ASF, because Paralon was just making broadswords, and then he could have won air, and then he could have killed them all for free. Definitely. So this entire army that almost went into Paralon's base is now moving northwards after clearing up everything in between, and it's not threatening the top expansion. It doesn't have any AA though. It has no AAs. Both of them are allergic to flak and shields. I mean, Tex is making a few now, but
he will lose maybe the whole army. How many broadswords are there?
He lost 2 broadswords, so there's only 3
okay,
left.
so yeah.
So it'll take a bit of time. But I feel like the army should have gone right, and then north and meet up with the other army from the left and just crush the expansion. Because right now Tex has way more units because Paralon suicided a lot in front of Tex's base. Well, that was quite something. I felt like with those big armies in front of the bases, one of them would die, but I guess not. Stop suiciding ASF decks, it hurts me. And now the flags are being focused down because he didn't bring any shields with him. It's that's not the best. Like, these tech 2 pigeons in mid are still alive. That's it's almost triggering.
It'd be nice to have right now, yeah.
The
Reclaim.
the bottom base for techs looks actually so undeveloped. It's just 2 tech 3 factories and a few tech 2 mixes. Compared to Paralon's one.
It's true, yeah. Paralon didn't make any more T3 maxes though. He made like 1.
He's making he made 2 and he's
more?
making a turret. Turret is on 75%. Tex right now is on. I feel like he also stopped. Yeah, he's on 2.
Oh, so never mind, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was making a turret. Oh, never mind, he's on 3. But one of them is adjacent to attack one factory.
Didn't that just finish? I swear it was T2.
Maybe.
And I looked a couple seconds ago. Yeah.
Okay, so the big push at the top right is finally happening. There's a strat out from Paralon, but strats on this map, going for armies, they can have quite some issues with the difference in terrain height. Yeah, but I feel like it's not gonna work. As you can see, the pathfinding is pretty atrocious. The broadswords are coming as well. The strats will get the drop off, and that will do huge damage. Actually, it's kind of whiffed. It went for mostly Tech 1 tanks. If it landed in the middle of those titans and pillars, would be great. Tex keeps rallying in 1 ASF at a time to do like a few hundred damage to a single broadsword, and then it dies. I'm not too sure about this one. Let's see. Paralon making a bit of an air grid, made a second air factory, and turret is adjacent as well. Actually, is it? Probably? Yeah, it is. Okay, Tex is increasing his air grid as well. Then again, on this map, it is pretty easy to defend with SAMs. It's just that if you don't have air, then attacking can be quite hard. You can SAM creep, but that can also be pretty expensive. I feel like this air from Paralon can kill the entire bottom left expansion.
Yeah, 1 SAM. Probably not gonna cut it. I guess it depends on how many mobile flag there will be out.
The strats are kinda being suicided. They tried to go after the armies, but they're unprotected. Maybe it was an auto attack. Because the targets are a bit weird. He just lost 2 strats, he has 2 more, but they are... let's see if this is gonna be juicy bomb. That's pretty good. 2600 mass killed on that strat. And actually lives on 100 HP. But now...
yeah, he needs air staging now. Where's Dragot?
He does have air staging at the top right, actually.
Oh yeah.
This push from Tex, it hasn't really become a lot stronger compared to when he could have pushed like 3 minutes ago. And Paralon got so much time to build up some PD and lots of new units. And I feel like this isn't enough. Actually, there's a lot of Percies in there, but he needs to be careful. He can kill this base if he micros nicely, and if he tries to deal with pathfinding better, which he isn't. He's doing what I might call the FTX classic, which is when your army is like this, half around the cliff. When you want to move your army, select the entire army and then move it somewhere else. And then the units behind the cliff just keep getting stuck, so you just need to give him multiple army movements. Now he's pushing in. It's so scary. There's so much Tech 1 arties there. He needs to keep dodging them if he wants to kill this position. He needs to micro a shit ton, and I feel like it's not gonna be enough.
Do you think? Like, I think every Percy is dead now.
For both of them.
Ah, that's true.
Like, he kinda... A few of his Percys were at the front. A few were kinda all at the back, out of range. They were shooting at Tech 1 tanks, because they didn't have anything else to shoot at. And
I think that position's actually gonna fall. Tech still has 3 Percys left.
Maybe.
And a lot of Titans.
I guess the
There's
army... Yeah, it is,
you're
right, you're right. All of a sudden, all the Tech 2 and Tech 3 from Paralon is dead. I thought he had more. I guess the Tech 1 spam kinda hit the fact that there wasn't real substance to the army.
But at the same time, Tex is losing the bottom left corner now. Finally, the gunships moved in.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're going after Maxes. They should go after the production and engineers to prevent AA. Actually, he's not gonna go for the production. That means Tex will actually keep that. But at the top, Tex was kind of focused somewhere else, I feel. His army movement was a bit weird. Kind of disengaged for a bit. But there's a lot of flex now. There's some nice transport from Paralon though. He just transported in 3 new Percys. That's actually a...
Oh, that's important, yeah.
That's very important. I'm not sure if it's on time or not.
I don't think it will cut it. Like, Tex still has 3 Percys, which will just keep on vetting now. The factory needs to die though. It's like 176 HP.
No. You keep it alive until the Percy is 99% and then you kill it. There's already a nice proxy factory from Tex to reclaim. Okay, yeah, the position is lost and Tex manages to keep the bottom left. In the meantime, he made 2 more Tech 3 maxes. Paralon is now on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in total, making 6th. No, not making 6th. But of course, honestly, losing his maxes at the top right isn't that big of a deal. Losing the 20k reclaim field, quite a bit more.
There are a lot of Percys of Paralon moving in now. So Tex needs to be careful. I think right now he could actually lose the fight.
That's true, actually. He kinda didn't send any new reinforcements for the longest time, and Paralon has been rallying almost everything there. There's 6 Percys from Tex at the bottom left, while there's only 3 damage runs from Paralon. So it's kinda... And he's sending 2 more Percys reinforcements from top. Yeah, his army is actually trapped. It is actually gonna die, you're right. He overbuilt flag massively, because he lost air. But now his army is 50% flag. Yeah, it's... There's no mobile shields, not enough Percys. There's no Lobos in his mix either. It's just gonna... The attack is gonna die out, and actually Paralon is gonna get the reclaim field.
Yeah, he already has 3 reclaim factories up there.
He put a Uno Reverso on Tex right there.
Yeah, and if you look at the space, you can already see what that mass is going into. I was just waiting.
A nuke, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but Tex scouted it. He's already on his SND. He will finish it before the nuke's up.
True. And I guess he can nuke the bottom left, although it's not the most valuable nuke target. The thing is, as UEF, like what do you make? Like a fat boy, it's just so slow before it does something. I almost feel like in a situation like this, instead of building a fat boy at home, it's almost better to build a Novex. Like seriously, because you just send it straight across the map and snipe all the eco, or force all the all the shields around the eco. Like, sure, Fatboy will get more value if it arrives, but it's gonna take so long to arrive that it's gonna be delayed by a lot. Also,
Yeah.
Fatboy is so vulnerable to air, even though he has air control, but it's not massive. He has like 20 ASF. That's nothing at this stage. Tex has like 15. That's 5 ASF. That's, he can lose at any moment. So yeah, there's at the very least, Tex killed all the Tech 2 maxes at the top right. There's a lot of reclaim. Is it going into more eco back at home? Is there one more max to upgrade? It's just full going into the nuke probably.
X is getting... might be getting decent trades now in the south. Like, he's got a sizable Percy army there.
Yeah, and his bombers are actually doing way too much damage.
Yeah.
It did like 4k damage to 2 Percies. Yeah, he kind of scared them away. He will be able to kill at least a single Tech 2 max. He really needs to make more shields though. He has a single parachute. There needs to be like 10 in that mix. Not one. And then also like 20 plus Lobos to, you know, Lobos are basically there to kill the enemy parachutes and to try to tank Percival shots to waste on the Lobos. That's their purpose. And it can actually make quite a big difference, but neither of them are making a lot of them. I want to see a Rambo boy. Paralon, please. You have to master it. There's a single Lobo at the top right from Tex with 2300 mass kills.
Oh, it probably killed 2 cap maxes, yeah.
There's a Janus on the hunt. No! A rip.
Sad. I mean, those Lobos could have still been nice to just kill random reclaim engineers and slow down.
Yeah, I probably should have just put them on attack move or something. I mean, even though it is quite bad, like the massive reclaim shield losing it at the top right, shouldn't forget that there were 7 capped Tech 2 maxes, which is like, what, 42 mass income? Which over the time that it's been dead, it has been around 20k mass, or like 15k mass worth of production lost. So even though he donated mass, and of course it isn't great, it's not the end of the world. Especially considering the mass went into the nuke and SMD will be loaded on time. This again, this top army from Paralon is dying to tech bombarders because he has no AA.
So brutal.
Oh, look at the air fight! That's what I was talking about. Like, even though Paralon is more air, a single mistake like this and he loses it massively.
Yeah.
This is a big fucking turning point. Because now the bombers will actually wreak havoc. And there's actually nice Titan rate on the right side. I say Titans, there's also the Percies. It's just the entire army went all around the base again. This is a bit of a deja vu here. But it's actually gonna kill the top right again.
Yeah,
Honestly,
the question is,
yeah?
before the reclaim is taken? I don't think so.
No, that's too late, but he
yeah.
will kill most of the production, all the engineers, just delay him setting up the base, and most importantly, he won air. That's very important. And he won air with like 30 to 40 ASF remaining. He should be building broadswords right now, or strats. Because his bombers just died to the tech on AAs. They were good for as long as they lived, but there's these tech on static AAs with 600 mass kills.
Also, Tex turned around
Oh,
with his Percy's, which was
yeah.
really good in my
I
opinion. I was kind of getting afraid that he would get trapped there again.
yeah,
But
I
he's
just
taking a
noticed
nice
he just sent the
fight, yeah.
Titans forward and he's splitting them. That's a very good move actually. Uh, he should get an insanely efficient fight here. Although he still can get a bit trapped, but probably not. I mean, Paralon should try his best to trap it. If he retreats those 6 Percies, comes from the top with the rest, and his Titans from the bottom, if he sends them to the middle, so the Percies from Dex can retreat to the left, he should be able to trap them. But yeah. I'm not sure about this fight actually for Dex. He's trading kinda even, but Paralon will get the reclaim eventually. And
Yeah.
every Percy rack is quite a lot.
Tex might lose his bottom left corner.
Yeah, that's. I just looked there as well. He finally made mobile shields. I'm not sure why they're on the cliff though. It's
Tex is building Continentals. I guess he could just ferry a huge army from north to his expansion.
true.
Win the fight, get the reclaim.
The big army in front of his base can all be transported there. That's actually not a bad move considering how slow Percy's are. And the top right, the nice Titan split. They're gonna die eventually, but it's keeping the 6 Percies busy. Like 6 Percies that will take a few minutes to clean up a few random Titans. It's kind of good. The armies from Paralon at the bottom aren't coordinated. He's sending his Titans back top, but the Percy's flanked from the left. But I guess he can kill that 90% Percy factory, which is quite nice, but he's not going to be able to kill the base. These Percy's from Tex are finally dying? Question mark on the right side? I guess not. They all have a lot of mass guild. Oh my god.
And Tex is dropping in 3 Continentals.
Oh,
is it going for the main base? He might just snipe the ACU.
No, it's gonna join up with the rest of the Percies, and then it's just gonna walk into the main base, because there's nothing to defend there. That's absolutely brutal. That's what they might call a chat move.
The random 3 tier 1 AA in the mix.
Couldn't have done it without you. But yeah, that's it should be game over, unless Paralon somehow manages to defend, which would surprise me.
He's spamming Ravagers, but I think he's still mass stalling like crazy. His nuke still is not loaded.
Well, I mean, it is unassisted, but it might be possible with all the build power he has, yeah. Making Ravagers, I feel like he should be making tech on PDs. Because the Percies are just right-clicked into the base. And if Tex has power priority snipe mode, he is definitely using it. Where's the ACU? It's coming forward. Yeah, there goes all the power, and the nuke is gonna go down as well. And that's the game. And now the ACU
yeah, now
is
it's
focused.
just time to right-click the ACU. Yes. There we go.
One salvo, and he's dead. So actually, Tex 2-0 is Paralon, which is not what I expected at all.
Yeah, especially on the Rosa, like we both of us did not expect it.
This was a very close game actually. It was a very nice game, that's for sure.